Welcome to Buena Park, the gateway to Orange County and the home of Knott's Berry Farm. Relive the thrill of the Old West and all it has to offer, along with a little more than a slice of what the present has to offer. Dare yourself to rides like Montezooma's Revenge, you'll find more than your fill of rides at this park.
Werner Stengel, a South-Tour amusement designer, and Anton Schwarzkopf, an engineer that grew up in the circus trailer business, began a collaboration in 1963 that would have a significant impact on the theme park industry worldwide. After experimenting with Anton's existing models, their partnership led to the creation of the first steel vertical looping coaster in 1976.
Man was not meant to do that!
The vertical loop was a tremendous step forward for the coaster industry. However, not every park had space for the hills and drops needed for inversion speed. Stengel and Schwarzkopf regarded the obstacle as an engineering challenge and answered the call by remixing an oldie. The first roller coasters by today's measures were shuttle coasters. La Montagne Russe, for example, was a wheel and track sled ride installed in the Belleville district of Paris in 1812. It took riders from the top of a specially designed hill on a one-way trip to the bottom. The Gravity Railroads of America's Rust Belt inspired Coney Island's Switchback Railway. Patented in 1885, this out and back coaster passed cars between two towers along a set of parallel bunny hills. These rides were in complete circuits and paved the way for all gravity-based attractions in the future. By the end of the 19th century, complete circuits were all the rage, and the shuttle was basically defunct. Nevertheless, Anton's family would have understood the value of the shuttle coaster, as they had been manufacturing special conveyances for traveling shows since the 1930s, and saw firsthand the value of abbreviation. Compact coasters that packed a punch were the perfect fit for the Schwarzkopf legacy. There was one thing these early shuttle coasters were missing: power. With enough power, Stengel and Schwarzkopf presumed they could incorporate a vertical loop into the out and back arrangement. Power would accommodate another thrill, the sensation of launching like a rocket.
The steel coaster I personally find the most wonderfully terrifying is what is known as the shuttle loop. You see, it's one thing to go forward through a vertical loop, but then to travel up a dead-end track, stop, and fall through the same loop backwards. That's fun.
Stengel and Schwarzkopf sold their first powered shuttle looper to King's Dominion in Virginia. Opened in 1977, King Cobra was propelled by weight drop, housed in a silo at the far end of the track. When operators triggered the launch, the 40-ton weight wound an anchored cable with extraordinary speed to accelerate the train. Schwarzkopf found the weight drop system to be inconsistent. Changes in the train's heaviness led to false starts. The weight drop was also sensitive to weather due to the reliance on air cushioning to soften the weight's recoil. Within a year, the German coaster makers looked to launching by other means.
Catapulting, as developed by naval aviators, was first used by cruisers and battleships as a means of launching their observation seaplanes to carry out spotting missions. As naval aviation progressed, emphasis was laid on carrier-based aircraft that at certain times needed a means of short, rapid launching. The present-day concealed flush-deck catapult is a direct descendant of the earlier open cradle type and is used to launch land planes from a carrier deck.
In the infancy of naval aviation, the US Navy experimented with several methods of seaborne takeoff. One option was the flywheel catapult. Flywheels are mechanisms that store rotational energy. They resist changes in rotational speed due to their angular mass. Since flywheels are a type of accumulator, they provide high power output while absorbing surges of high power input. Regardless of the train's weight, the weather conditions, the phase of the moon, or whatever, a flywheel will spin in constant preparation to apply unstoppable force.
Still daring? Then you'll find the fantastic, hair-raising corkscrew ride. Another thrill a second.
Knott's Berry Farm was keen to repeat the success of Corkscrew and made the addition of a second roller coaster a top priority. In the late 70s, Marion Knott contacted Intamin, who at the time were representing Schwarzkopf Industries internationally, for a compact coaster with both economy and exhilaration. Whether by luck or instinct, Marion nabbed one of the first flywheel-launched shuttle loopers. Under the working title Locomotion, the land designated for the new coaster incorporated a portion of the Grand Avenue parking lot adjacent to Fiesta Village. 600 feet of ground space was allotted for the attraction's 800 feet of track. The vertical loop, a somewhat flattened KnottHeadz, hit the crest at 76 feet. Walkways from the Fiesta wheel and the Mexican whip were constructed to meet Locomotion's queue. The simplest of load stations was built, with decorations ripped right from the local roller skating rink. The farm's maintenance and construction teams, some of the best in the business, would take care of all site-related matters for Locomotion, while Schwarzkopf built the ride system at the family's old plant in Munsterhausen, Bavaria. All was going well with the order, but something had to be done about the name. Fortunately, one of the regular acts at the covered wagon camp just happened to have a handle worth stealing. On May 21st, 1978, Montezooma's Revenge started spinning the flywheel for guests. Just like the corkscrew, Zoom took riders upside down twice. The ride's restraints consisted of a lap bar only, nothing above the shoulders like most other inverting coasters. Once riders are secure, a pair of dispatchers at either end of the station submit approval to trigger the launch. Zoom's flywheel is visible down the track, just short of the loop. Once triggered, a clutch engages the wheel and thus rapidly winds the launch cable. Montezooma's Revenge propels the train via a catchdog that waits for launch behind the rear car and when pulled by the launch cable, pushes the train into acceleration. The catchdog is small enough to slip underneath the cars when returning to launch position, yet sturdy enough to blast riders from 0 to 55 miles per hour in less than 5 seconds. The first loop, reached face forward, nails riders to their seats with roughly 5.5 G-forces. Following the loop, the 7-car train climbs up a spike at a 70-degree angle until losing all forward momentum. A bumper at the top of the spike prevents unwanted calamity.
You hang in limbo, and then it starts all over again, in reverse. You race backwards through the loop and the station to a second tower, halting momentarily, then back into the station to a grinding halt.
Montezooma's Revenge has a total ride time of just 35 seconds, and every morsel of it is packed with excitement. Even standing in line is fun, especially when the reverse trip rips past the station gates.
Oh, really good.
Weird things like that, they're fun. We're gonna go on it again.
Montezooma's Revenge has a per-hour capacity of over 800 riders. From her first launch, she has been an essential part of the complete Knott's experience. Zoom kept the farm relevant during the early coaster wars in Southern California. In fact, her 2 inversions, combined with Corkscrew's 2 inversions, won the farm the bout for most roller coaster inversions at a Southland theme park, a title Knott's held for 15 years. In 1990, Six Flags Magic Mountain yanked the bout away with the debut of Viper, an Arrow custom that stings riders with 7 inversions. The farm countered that move by replacing Corkscrew with a Vekoma Boomerang. Its 6 inversions, plus Zoom's 2, tied Magic Mountain's aggregate score. Coincidentally, Boomerang was also a shuttle coaster. Alas, it only took a few years for Magic Mountain to run the board and declare Valencia the new coaster capital. With Cedar Fair's help though, Knott's remained in the fight.
Over and around and upside down on the all-new Hang Time, the first and only dive coaster in California.
As a fixture of the farm's lineup, Montezooma's Revenge would inspire 2 more powered launch coasters. Accelerator in 2002, Intamin's first hydraulic-powered launch coaster, and Pony Express in 2008, a Zamperla motor coaster reminiscent of the Roaring Twenties motorcycle chase. Like Zoom, Pony Express is also a flywheeler. Montezooma's Revenge has gone largely unchanged since opening. For a brief time, the track was painted teal. In 1995, Jaguar replaced Studio K with a 5-story Mesoamerican pyramid, a dramatic new icon for Fiesta Village that deepened the area's connection to Mexican culture and heritage. The Junior roller coaster offered a fast-paced, branch-height view of Knott's second theme land and a leap through the eye of Montezooma's mighty loop. In the late 90s, Cedar added a basic nylon seatbelt to Zoom's cars as a backup restraint. Thankfully, they didn't add anything over the shoulder.
Da braucht bloß noch was kommt. Da gibt's morgen früh manche Arbeit. Alle Schrauben nachziehen. Da unten was. An alle Ecken gibt's da was.
Werner and Anton built 12 shuttle loopers between 1977 and 1990. 7 of those units hit American parks. King Cobra left Virginia in 1987 for Maryland. 3 years later, she was renamed Thunder Looper and did a stint at Alton Towers. In 1999, she crossed the Atlantic once more and opened at Hopi Hari near Sao Paulo, Brazil. White Lightning opened at Carowinds in 1977, then moved to South Africa in 1989. The tidal wave at Marriott's Great America in California started looping guests in 1977. After closing, her parts were sent to Kentucky Kingdom for the maintenance of Greased Lightning, a 1978 model first installed at Marriott's Great America in Illinois, also under the name Tidal Wave. After changing hands several times, the third weight dropper was ultimately retired in 2013. AstroWorld's Greased Lightning began spinning the flywheel in 1978 and ran for 28 years. Just before the Houston Park's closure, Greased Lightning ticked 1 million launches on the odometer. Joyland of Lubbock, Texas purchased the Western Junction favorite in 2006 with plans to open under a new name. Unfortunately, the ground assigned for the looper was deemed unsuitable, and the flywheeler has been in storage ever since. Perhaps the coaster's current owner, Cliff's Amusement Park of New Mexico, will find a place for it soon. Laser Loop, Kennywood's 1980 edition, yanked the catchdog for a decade, took a 4-year hiatus, and then vamonos south of the border. Cascabel's flywheel rolled to a stop at La Feria, Mexico City in 2019. Montezooma's Revenge is the last of the American Schwarzkopf shuttle loopers still in operation, and the last of any of the shuttle loopers to be running in its original location. In 2019, the American coaster enthusiasts honored Knott Shuttle Loop with a landmark celebration, 41 years since the ride's debut.
Well, you know, the dynamics of this ride changed. My dad's 86, and he rode this ride when it first opened, and if you look at the two spikes, the paint where the track is worn out, it doesn't go all the way to the top. He's 86, he still swears to this day in 78, it went to the top and rang the bell and came back down.
Stengel and Schwarzkopf worked together until Anton's retirement in 1995. The coasters they created are renowned for being the smoothest, prettiest, and most exciting. Parts look to Schwarzkopf's collection for the best in amusements, and to sell the shuttle looper, Werner and Anton proudly inserted a photo of the one they sent to Buena Park. The next time you're down on the farm, put Montezooma's Revenge on your to-do list. When you ride it, grab a seat in the front, look down the way, and you might catch a glimpse of the flywheel spinning in perpetual glory. If you're fast enough. Thank you so much for joining today's expedition. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment below with your favourite thing about Knott's Berry Farm. As always, a special thank you to our Patreons for supporting the channel. We're offering even more t-shirt designs, so take a moment to check out our shop using the link in the description. We will see you next time.